Hi, it's Gab, and I'm reviewing the new science fiction action film called Elysium, which is the new Neil Blomkamp written and directed film since District 9 4 years ago. I saw District 9 almost exactly 4 years ago, August 14th to be exact, 2009, and ever since then it's been one of my favorite smart sci-fi action films. Any of you who watch me regularly will have heard me mention this once or twice. But Elysium is the new one and shouldn't necessarily be compared. What Elysium is about is in the future, the year 2150 something. Earth is just completely overpopulated, riddled with disease, environmental disaster, and is a horrible place to live. So only the more low and unkempt, unwashed, uneducated, and poor masses live there. The rich and connected have fled to a space station called Elysium, that's where the name comes from, which is an idyllic paradise world where there's no illness, everyone's beautiful, happy, frolicking nonstop at their mansions, and that's the place to be. Matt Damon is the central character who is has a criminal past, is just blue-collar working to get by, and just keeping his nose down, but through circumstances, namely that he suddenly gets very ill, and some other circumstances, he wants to get to Elysium to help himself and maybe, who knows, help others. It's obviously allegorical. I don't need to get too much into that, and pretty obviously it has a lot of science fiction touchstones here that we've seen before. You know, the separation of the rich and the poor. There's all sorts of various technical, like exoskeletons and downloading information into your brain and all sorts of technical things that we've sort of seen before. The ideal world above the earth is the kind of thing we've seen before, although interestingly we don't see very much of actual Elysium, just sort of here and there, and it's pretty basic stuff that we see. There's not a lot of imagination put into the world of Elysium, which I was disappointed in. I wanted to see more of this place that you know, all of humanity left on Earth, they're all driven to or aspire to or dream of and live under the shadow of this place. You want to see more of it. That place is run by Jodie Foster's character, who is, to me, a terrible caricature of a villain. She had some sort of weird accent and affectation in the way she was delivering her lines that I found laughable and almost unwatchable. I really did not appreciate her villain. The other main villain was played by Sharlto Copley, who is the star from District 9, South African actor who I really like, and even though he was a caricature and totally overblown, his villain was lots of fun to watch, and I really enjoyed the scenes that he was in as Matt Damon's main adversary. So I enjoyed the action, the storylines of the good guy versus the bad guy, but a lot of it is pretty typical stuff. There were a few scenes that were very tense and well executed, and those were fun. Matt Damon was a serviceable hero. I didn't think he brought any special charisma or heart to the role. It could have been many other actors, but I won't get into that either. What I really loved about District 9, amongst many things, was its originality and its heart. And I found both of those to be somewhat lacking in Elysium, although it is quite an entertaining story and visually very nicely executed. It has that gritty, sometimes handheld feel that District 9 had that I like. You definitely believe the earth-bound world that is shown, and is entertaining to watch in its, as I say, grittiness and the colorful characters who are trying to survive and get ahead in that world. I enjoyed that. I like that sort of story, the underdog story versus the evil elite. That's all good stuff. And again, the technical futuristic trappings are fun, but nothing too special that we haven't seen before, and as I said, also I would have liked to have seen more. So, you know, the originality is just not quite there. And come on, I mean, any action movie where the line, That's what I'm talking about, is uttered not once but twice. You know, the script could have used a bit of beefing up. The messages are pretty heavy-handed and not done with any panache or anything that really moves you. Again, like District 9, I hate to keep comparing this, but it's really hard not to when there is a writer-director who just burst onto the scene with something that got a lot of attention, and if you loved it, you're always going to hold that as sort of a template. So I can't help but compare the two. But Elysium is entertaining if you like the sci-fi genre. Who doesn't? And does have some things going for it. So I would recommend it, not as a summer blockbuster, not as a sleeper, smart little thing, but whatever falls in between that. I think that you won't be disappointed necessarily, or you won't regret having watched it and being entertained for those 2 hours. So I would give Elysium a 3.5 out of 5 Gabs, and as usual, thanks for watching.